Hi, Somesh, Manisha, Pooja. Good, I'm audible. Okay, cool. Glad to see you all here. Thank you for making the time. And I assure you, you will go with some great knowledge after this session. So, so there might you might see you might have not you might be new to this platform. So this is a special platform only for DSCs. So it's only accessible through the DSC clubs. So you can see there are a lot of options for Q&A, chat, and everything. So don't direct message me. If you have any questions, leave it in the chat so I can see everyone's questions in one place. Okay. So that's the first thing. So please use the chat window for anything that you want to ask, because you can't speak yourself here. You can't unmute yourself. There's no such option. So please make sure you use the chat window. I'll be constantly looking at the chat window. So ask all your questions there. So I will be starting off in a few minutes, and this will be a bit long session, so please bear with me. And some part of it I will try to make it interesting, but it might be a bit of theory. So, and it might be a bit complex also, so don't get turned off by it. So don't worry too much, don't put it into your head. Everything will make sense soon. So just try to grasp it and understand it. And this is only so that your labs are more easier, because there are things in the labs which you will come across which might be confusing and difficult. So I plan that I will tell you about it beforehand, so that you will have a general idea of what it might be when you come across it in the labs. Okay, so I'll be giving you information about stuff that you will come across in the labs which you might have not heard before. Okay, so first of all, I am audible. Okay. So if I am going fast or going too slow, please do let me know in the chat. I will slow down if I'm going too fast. And if you do not understand a certain point, then again please do let me know in the chat again. I will repeat that point. And if you have a question, again please do ask it. I will definitely reply to you. So for questions in general, for like a specific question that you have like on a topic, you can see a Q&A section there. So please utilize that so I can answer questions in a sequential order. So you can ask questions there and I will be able to answer one by one. Okay. So after this, one more thing is please log into your Quick Labs account. I hope everyone is on the laptop watching this. So please log into your Quick Labs account and open the labs, because you'll be doing it with me, the hands-on lab. I'll be showing you one lab and you will be doing it with me so that it is easier for you to understand. Okay, so please make sure you're watching this on a laptop or even in your phone. It's okay, but make sure you're sitting in front of a laptop or a desktop. Yes, Manudeva, incognito mode would be recommended. I'll show you how it is done. Okay, don't worry about that. I will show you the entire process perfectly so that you don't have any doubts moving forward. Okay, so let's start with some introductions. So, hi again. If you do not know me, I am Samir. I'm from 7th CSC, KSSEM. I hope you're in the same college. So, yeah. So, most of you are from 5th SEM, I believe, 5th SEM and 3rd SEM, and some are from 7th SEM. So, hello again. And I hope you're doing fine. Is everybody healthy? Please give a thumbs up in the chat. Is everybody safe and healthy? Cool. Great. That's great to hear. So, this is one more thing. I will be asking questions like this before moving forward. So at that point, I would require some thumbs up so to get to know that you guys are on the same page with me. Okay. So please do give a thumbs up and I ask you if I'm clear or I'm on the good pace or something like that. Okay. That's great. Okay. Okay, so for those of you, if your friends are not able to attend today for some reason, this will be this is being recorded, so this will be up on YouTube. But that doesn't mean you should leave the session, because obviously you'll lose out the opportunity to ask me questions directly, and then I don't want you to keep sending me personal messages on Telegram asking me different questions. So I recommend that you attend this session. Most of your questions will be answered here, so that you'll be thoroughly clear. Okay, so that is one more thing. And also, after this, if you have any doubts, please utilize the Telegram group to ask your questions, and ask it directly in the group and not message me personally, because there might be few other people who are facing the same issue, and then I can answer to everyone's issues at once and I don't have to reply to everyone differently. Okay, so that is the whole intent. Please do try to use the Telegram group for your queries. If you're stuck in some lab, if you're getting some errors, anything it might be, please ask it directly in the group, so I'll be able to answer to everyone, and if people are facing the same issue, they can get to know it. Okay, so shall we move forward? Is everyone ready? Is everyone excited? This is definitely exciting stuff. You just have to see it in the perspective. So yeah, like first I'll start off with some kind of theory explaining you what this cloud thing is actually is, and then I will tell you all about it. Okay. So let's start off. Like, how many of you know about cloud? Like, what do you think cloud is? And if you can write a one-line answer, please do it in the chat. I would like to see some answers. Anything you know about cloud, or why we should use cloud or learn about cloud? What is cloud? Anything. Please write a short answer. Okay, Rakshit says to develop something. That's a good answer. Anybody else? Okay, Raghavendra has given a very specific answer: deployment of IT services over internet, which is very true. Platform to deploy applications. Yes, Aditya, that's a very clear answer. Anybody else? Guys, I would highly recommend you interact with me in the chat, because it will be you can really get your thoughts out and clear your questions. So don't just watch it. Be a part of this session. Make sure you're a part of it and not just an external viewer. Okay, so we do have a good amount of people. So those are the rules. Please try to interact in the chat window. And if you have any specific question about what I'm telling, drop it in the Q&A. If it is a question I'm asking, drop it in the chat window. Okay. So let me start with the presentation. So I hope everybody is able to see the presentation. Drop in a thumbs up if so. Oh, I forgot to share my screen. Just a minute. Yeah, I hope everybody is able to see now. Cool. So this program, which you are all part of, is called 30 Days of Google Cloud, and it is specifically for developer student clubs, colleges. Developer student clubs is a program by Google for university students to get exposure on technologies such as Google Cloud, Android, website development, and all of these Google stuff. Okay, so this is a really great learning opportunity for you guys to get to know more about exploring more about great technologies out there, learn about fascinating stuff which you will be using a lot when you go into the IT jobs. So these stuff are really helpful, and almost in particular to cloud, every company is using a cloud service. There is no company you will find that is not using cloud, because that is how just things work. So it is important for you guys to know what is cloud and why do we need it and how it works. Okay. So Somesh Kumar is saying no. Oh, can you elaborate? You're not able to see my screen. What is it? nothing displayed. Can't you see 30 days of Google on the screen? Please do, if you're not able to see, please do watch it on a laptop or desktop. I'm not sure how it works with a phone. So for the best experience, please do watch it on a laptop or desktop. Don't use your phone. Okay, cool. I'll be moving forward then. Already 16 minutes past. So welcome to this program. For those of you who successfully enrolled, great job, by the way. I know it was hard to go through the lab, get the credits, and fill the form, fill the right URL. I know it was hard, but again, well done for those of you who did. I know some of you couldn't fill the wrong form, wrong URL, and didn't get the welcome email. So I'm really sorry for that. I have raised the issues. Let's see if we can get a good response. So for those of you who did, I know at least 50 plus students did. So congrats, that's a really good number. And if all of 50 of you do at least one track in this, the college is going to get an amazing certificate of appreciation, and we're all going to get amazing prizes. So please do try your best at this, utilize this opportunity, and learn a lot, learn lots. Okay. So this is how the program is going to go. For those of you who do not know or didn't attend my event, my briefing the 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, when I came into, I think we had a joint meeting where I explained all of this. So for those of you who do not know about this, I'm just going to go through it again quickly. So this program is called 30 Days of Google Cloud, specifically for DSC campuses, and as the name says, the program is for 30 days. Kind of like it has been extended till 5th November because of all the issues. So you have time till 5th November to complete these tracks, and then you can win amazing prizes. Okay. So first thing will be the certificate, which you'll be getting directly from Google. So it has tremendous value. So there are two tracks in this. So first thing I want you guys to understand is what are tracks. So tracks are a collection of quests. QUEST, quest. So one track is cloud engineering, and the second one is data science and machine learning. So cloud engineering constitutes the basics of engineering in general, like whatever you would do, the concepts of operating systems and application softwares and all of this. And data science and machine learning has all the uh, tracks, quests of data science and machine learning, as the track says. So if you guys haven't seen this program syllabus yet, I'd recommend you to go and see it. You have to type bit.ly. You know that, right? The URL shortener bit.ly/GCC site. I'll show you that site. This is the site. I'll show it you later. So these are the two tracks. So the first one consists of 6 quests. Now you have to understand that each quest has a labs in return. So there is one term is track. So each track has quests, and each quest has labs. So the labs are guided. So each lab is about 45 to 1 hour. 45. The given time is 45 minutes to 1 hour, but you will be able to finish it in half of the time, most of the times, except for the challenge labs, which are a bit difficult, and I will be addressing how to solve them as well. So these are the labs that you have. Just a minute. So these are the labs that you have. So you can see the 6 quests here. This is also on the site. This is the syllabus for getting those prizes. So the quests will have the same name: getting started with cloud managed resources, perform foundation infrastructure, deploy and manage cloud environments, build a networks, deploy Kubernetes. So these are 6 quests you have to complete to complete one track. Then these are 6 to complete the second one. So there are different prizes according to how many tracks you complete. And if you complete one, you get a certificate, a t-shirt, a sticker pack. And if you complete both, you get two t-shirts, a certificate, a sticker pack, and a laptop bag. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity to learn as well as get prizes, because nobody's going to, again, if you're doing this you can still do this out of the program. You can do it on your own. You can buy quick lab credits, or there are other programs, but no program will give you the prizes to do these labs. Okay, so this is a really unique opportunity, which rarely comes once in a while. So do take full advantage of it. So each quest you complete, you'll be getting one of these skill badges. So these badges are going to evaluate like how much quests you have done, and this after seeing this only, they're going to give you the prizes. So you'll gain hands-on experience on Google Cloud, and you can also share your accomplishments. And please do share them. I'll be telling them later on LinkedIn and Twitter, and you'll get a lot of likes and tweets from the Google team itself if you share your accomplishments. So it has started on 26th and will end on 5th November here. It says 31st, but it was extended till 5th. So you have time till 5th. So today is 10th. So you have about 25 days. So you have a lot of time. It should be enough to complete it and get your goodies and certificates. So let's start off then. Is everybody with me till here? Okay, some are having issues. I'm not sure why. Okay, can everybody see it now? What about you, Aditya? Aditya and Somya? Somya, can you see it? The core members, please do assist them and reply to them when I'm not. Okay, cool. I think everybody is able to see it then. Cool. Now are you guys able to see it? Here now? Everybody's able to see it? Cool. So let's start off then. I will be going through first basics of cloud, how it works, and then I'll be going through a bit of networks, which also comes in your lab. So I thought it would be helpful if I told you the basics of networking, and then we'll be going through something called as containers and Kubernetes, which you might have never heard of because it is a new technology, but it's extensively used and you have labs on them. So I'll just brief you about what containerization is, which is really interesting concept. And then of course we have the data science and machine learning. So with this, I'll be doing 2 labs hands-on, and I welcome you all to join me and try it with me. It will be really helpful. Okay, 1 or 2 labs depending on the time. So let's start off. I kind of briefly told about this in the other session which I took. So all of you have played Pokemon Go, I believe, or have heard of it. So you know how it works, that you go around and it uses Google Maps to scan your area, and then a Pokemon pops out in AR, in augmented reality, right? So I'm not sure if you realize, but this is a lot of data. When 100 million players are playing throughout the world, this is a lot of internet bandwidth that's being consumed and a lot of data being pushed from the server to the phone, because they have to control where all the Pokemons in the entire world map is. So that's the huge data. So how can they do this? They chose they, they chose Google Cloud. So you can see that if the game is working successfully, obviously it's because of the infrastructure provided by Google Cloud. And the thing is that these people did not expect that there would be 100 million people, they would get so many downloads. So initially they thought only it would be in hundreds, like 100 or 200 people will use it. And they only put the resources for that. But instantly it became a hit and so many people started downloading that they had to scale quickly. And because they were on Google Cloud, they were able to do it very easily. And because of that, their app didn't fail or start crashing, or the servers didn't crash. So this is one good example where the cloud technology helps you in like scaling according to your customers, according to the number of customers you have. And will be going more in depth of how the scaling exactly works, what actually is scaling, and all of that. Okay. So there are 3 modes in a cloud computing. All of you have cloud computing in 7th semester as an elective subject which you are studying. So you'll come across this there as well. All of this is mentioned there. But you don't have to worry too much. Just know these terms: infrastructure, platform, and software. So infrastructure as a service is providing the pure hardware as a service, where you have control over overall hardware. Platform is an abstraction layer where you can deploy your own application, but you don't have to deal with all the hardware. And software is the best example is Gmail. You're using Gmail as a service, so that is also a cloud product. Okay, so this is how cloud works. There are three levels which you can use: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So there are many. So the advantages of using Google Cloud is that you can see there are many services provided. It has cloud storage where you can store. So suppose you have an app like Instagram, like hundreds and thousands of photos are being uploaded every single day. So you need a large storage bucket for that where you can store data. Like imagine how much data there should be. So these cloud providers provide enough data for you to enough space for you to store all of your apps data, like cloud storage. And cloud data store is table, like it is where you store your organized data of like a person's identity, phone number, email address, all of that. And then you also have a big table. These are all different services used in for specific use cases. If you want an SQL database, then you also have cloud SQL. And then, like I said, this is all infrastructure layer. And then we have the application logic called App Engine. So App Engine directly lets you deploy your application like a website, where you don't need to, and it manages all of the resources for you. And then one more advantage you get is using Google Cloud is you can integrate with services. Suppose you have an app like Swiggy or Zomato, and you want Google Maps in your app. So you, while using Google Cloud, you can easily integrate Google Maps within your app. You've seen, right? All of you have seen use Zomato, right? So you know how it works, right? It uses Google Maps to track your, or Ola or Uber, they use Google Maps to track your delivery person or the driver, right? So all of that is done through Google Cloud. So that's how it all works. You can also embed YouTube if you have used a few apps have YouTube built into them. You can see even WhatsApp that YouTube videos open up there only, right? So that is the use of YouTube API. So that's how they're able to do that when the YouTube video opens within WhatsApp. So if you build an application in the future, you could implement that as well. You have that option when using Google Cloud. Okay. So now we're going to dive a bit deeper into some theory, some concepts. So is everyone with me, or am I boring someone? Please do let me know if I should change something, or if you're on the same page. Please give a thumbs up or an yes. Okay, cool. Got a lot of thumbs up. Okay, cool. So before throughout this cloud tracks which you will do, you will notice that there is a lot of networking concept, the computer network and internet concept. So for to work with this, you have to know some basics of networking compulsory, else it will be really difficult. So I know fifth sem and seventh sem have some idea about networking, but third sem won't. So that's why I'm gonna tell a few terms of internet. So just don't stress too much, but just remember what it is. Okay, this will really help you in the labs. Okay, before that we have some Google stuff. So yeah, so all your GCP services are associated with one account. So you have a Gmail ID, right? So that is what it will be using. So all your services and projects are will be under one account. And you can also control, like in big companies, obviously one person can't do all of the cloud stuff. So there'll be multiple people who are in roles. There'll be cloud engineers who are working with Google Cloud. So, but not everybody should have the same rights and should have the same permissions, right? So Google Cloud also allows you to control who can access what resources, or who can control what according to their level. So one thing you have to understand in Google Cloud is, so cloud is actually not in the cloud, right? Because I'm not sure if you all saw, but there has been some videos going viral about Whitehead Junior. You know Whitehead Junior, right? Do you guys know Whitehead Junior? You must have seen ads in the TV and everywhere. So they have been facing a lot of backlash because they're not they're targeting very young children, and then they're not teaching it also properly. So there was one video that went viral where the kid asks what is cloud and all, and that teacher who doesn't know anything says that cloud is in the air, and he asks what happens when it rains, doesn't the data get wet and all of that. It's a really funny video. So cloud is actually on the ground. It is just somewhere else, not within in your house. So it is just another computer, but it can do a lot of more stuff than than the computer in your house, right? So that's what cloud is. It is just a large computer. It is somewhere in some region it is in multiple regions of the world. So that is what this region is. So Google also has multiple data centers in the world which contain several computers. So this concept is widely used in when you work with Google Apps. You'll see this zone being set everywhere. So the zones would be specified as US East one or Asia South one, US West or Asia South. There's one in Mumbai. There's one data center in Mumbai in India, and I think that is the only one in India. But there are several in US. So US West, US East, US North. So setting these zones is really important because that is the only way that Google Cloud knows where your project is. So you will mostly many people will face errors in this. They will not set the zone correctly. So make sure you read the content properly and see which zone is specified. And anything you create, any resources you create must be in that zone only. Only then you will get the points. So be very clear about these zones. Even I made a lot of mistakes in it. That's why I'm telling. I wasn't setting the zone properly. So make sure you set the zone when you're doing the labs. So regions are a collection of zones. They're a global network. Okay. So each region will have 2 or 3 zones in them. As you can see, your resources can be regional, zonal, or in case multi-region. So coming to the cloud engineering track, let's talk a bit about computer networking. I'm sure most of you know this. Fifth and seventh semester, you have a subject called computer networks where you dive deep into this. So it's really interesting stuff. We might not realize we use the internet daily to watch YouTube, to scroll through internet, to scroll through Facebook and Instagram, but we don't realize how amazing this stuff works. Like the data that one packet of data that just travels from your phone to your router and through the world to another corner of the world is just amazing. It's an amazing process, right? So realizing that gives you a lot of imagination and clarity on how the internet works, and this is required. So in the internet there are, like in the concept of networking, there are 2 models. So don't worry too much about this. It's just a representation of how networking should work within a device. Okay. So if you can see that blue tick in the WhatsApp that the person has read the message, that is in the application layer, where where the internet is showing that this person, the message you sent is delivered and he has read it, right? So there are several layers like that. So we'll not go deep into it. Just telling you that there are 2 models, TCP/IP and OSI model. And TCP/IP has 4 or 5 layers. The internet layer consists of network layer and the data link layer. And the OSI model has 7 layers. This is all you should know. So they have layers. And once, if you send a data in WhatsApp, if you send a message in WhatsApp, so that message goes through all these layers in your device and only then goes out of your device into your router and then into the internet and then into the other person's phone. So this is how it works. So just know that there are different layers, and that's how data is transferred. Okay. You will learn a lot about this in 5th semester, so don't worry now. So some basic terms you should know. The first thing is IP. So does anybody know what IP is? I would expect more from the 3rd sem. Do you guys know what IP is? Have you heard about it? Yes, Amita is right. It is internet protocol. So what does it actually do? Like, why is it used? What is an IP address structure? What does it do? Yes, Kalyan, you're right. It is a basic set of rules for a user is incorrect. It would be for a device. Raghavendra. So yeah, IP is a set of rules. It is the protocol which all data traveling through internet has to follow. And as you can see, it stands for Internet Protocol, responsible for delivering packets from source to destination. Now, this IP has something called an IP address. Now, think of IP address as your house address. Just like in the real world, in whichever area you are living, you need your house address to locate where you are. In the internet, you require your IP address to locate where you are exactly. Your IP address also tells your location and also tells you tells you which device is where. And this is extremely important because if you're watching some video on your phone, suppose there are three people connected, your mom, your dad, and you, who are watching different stuff on your phone using your router. Now, without this IP address, your router wouldn't know which video to send where. Okay, so the video you're trying to watch might be sent to your dad's phone, and his video might be sent to your phone. So it's only thanks to the IP address that your router knows that this video should go to your phone, the one you're asking, and this video should go to your dad's phone and your mom's phone. So you will come across IP address a lot in the labs. So the basic thing you'll see is internal and external IP address. So you'll be using the external IP address to, and I'll explain what this is. So you'll be using most of the time external IP address to see any website you deploy. So it will show there that click on this and it will take you to the website. So just know that IP is responsible for locating a device on the internet. Okay. So it is an identification. That's it, nothing else. And then we have TCP. So TCP is one of the protocols in the second layer of in the model which I showed. So this is responsible for making sure that a package you order on Amazon is reached to your house. Think of it that way. If you order something on Amazon, Amazon makes sure that it is reached to your house, right? TCP is just doing that. It is making sure that one data which is sent from a device reaches the other endpoint. So it controls the flow of data. It also has mechanisms to make sure the data is sent without any errors and without any loss. So that is TCP. So TCP is the most widely used protocol for communications. There's one more called UDP, which also you learn in FIPSEM. That is mostly used in video conference because it is unreliable. That's why it says unreliable datagram. Use the datagram. So you don't have to worry about that. TCP is what we'll be focusing. You will come across this term also in the labs. So don't get confused. Just know that it is making sure that whatever you send is received. That's it. Then we have the most widely used interesting ones. You must all know this. You would have used it on a daily basis. HTTP and HTTPS. So these are application layer protocols. As you can see, they are hypertext transfer protocols. So this is what allows a web browser to access a web page. This is what sends the data, receives data to the website. There's a lot more about this. It has methods and everything, but just know that anything you're able to access, which is a website, should be HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, this is the only protocol through which you can access something on the internet using a browser. Okay. Then we have SSH. Mostly, this is something that you might have not come across because it is more of not widely used in a normal person's life. It is mostly used in cyber security centers and all of that. So SSH stands for secure shell. So think of it as a way of accessing your device without the browser. So you saw HTTPS you can just type in a web https.google.com and www.google.com and you'll get it. But what if you want to access something, suppose another person's computer without a browser and only command line? So that is what SSH is, how you would do it. So SSH is the most secure way. That's why it's secure shell. It is the most secure way to access something over the internet. That you need an IP address. IP address is all you need to do it. Okay, just type in someone's IP address, and if it is guarded, it will have a password, and you can just log into that computer, just like you would through some web browser or through TeamViewer. So SSH is done through that. Then we have DNS. DNS stands for domain name system. So I told you about IP addresses earlier and how it is used to recognize every device on the internet. But technically, we as humans, IP address are in hexadecimal numbers. So we as humans can't really remember them, right? We can't remember addresses of all of these, right? If our houses had address like 192.198.168, so we wouldn't really remember them. That's why we have it in words and stuff, right? So that's what the domain name system does exactly. It is just a translation. It just translates a domain, which is usually in the form of a word like www.google.com, into an IP address. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know google.com also has an IP address, and that is the only way how you can access it. So even though it's google.com, it has a number behind it. And that's what DNS does. It just translates the number from a name. Then we have firewall, which you might have also heard. It's on your computer as well. This will also come in the cloud concepts. So you'll be working a lot with firewall and seeing how to configure firewall and all of that. So again, firewall is network security basically. It just helps you at identifying what traffic can come into your network and what traffic shouldn't. So this is what firewall helps you in doing. So two other things which are not too common, but you might have heard nowadays of VPN. VPC you might not have. So VPN is a virtual private network, right? How many of you have used VPN? Drop in a yes. How many of you have used VPN? Most of you, right? So you all know what VPN does. It basically hides your IP address. It does it. It shows the it does so by like making sure that there is some other IP address present, making it look like you are not in the place where you are, but you're from a different location. So that is what VPN does. So it is basically it encrypts the connection and it shows in different place. But in the cloud, when you're doing the labs, you'll come across something called VPC. So you can see it's nothing but a virtual private cloud. Now this is a bit different from VPN. It's not the same. What what virtual private cloud is a very isolated area where the rest of internet cannot access it. Okay, it is completely on its own, where no amount you can't directly access it through the internet. So any incoming request can't go into that. It's like a shell blocked. It's like inside a suitcase where you can't do anything from the outside. So that is what VPC is. So anything you create in the cloud will actually be in its own network. So you'll be dealing with two networks here. So that's why if some of you who have done the labs, you will see there's an internal IP address as well as there's an external IP address, right? So some of you have done the labs, please drop in an yes. You would have seen there's an internal IP address and an external IP address. I think most of you have done the lab, at least over the first quest. A lot of you reached out to me. So this is why it is. No, dark web is not VPC. Dark web, you can still access it through internet, right? That's a totally different thing. You can probably Google it. I won't be explaining it here, but yeah, it is completely different. VPC is different. VPC is within Google Cloud. It has its own network, meaning that you can't access it directly through whatever internet you're using. You can't do it. You can. The best example of this would be if you've gone to, I'm not sure now, but previously we used to go to the cyber cafes to play Counter Strike, and all of those computers would be connected, right? You would press LAN on the Counter Strike 1.6. So all of those computers were connected. Yes, all of those computers were connected, but they were not connected to the internet, right? They were only connected to each other, but not to the internet. So internet, nobody from internet could access it, but a computer inside that own network can access it. If I'm not clear, please do ask me questions, as this is a bit important. Yeah. So that's exactly how it is, meaning that it has its own network where nothing can access it, only like from an external network. So that's why you see that internal IP address in the labs, and that's why you have to SSH into that. That's the only way you can access it, by logging into that IP address. Okay. Uh, a single network in the sense? Yes, it's a sandbox, exactly. I didn't get you, Aditya. What does a single network mean? I think what you're referring to is like all VPC is just like one network or something like that. I think it depends, but yeah, I think usually in one project you would have like only one network. No, they can be connected to an external network, but they will always have their own internal network. That is why you see internal and external IP address. They will be accessible to the internet through some a different IP address, but also they will be always be they'll always have their own network. So this virtual network is which is by default, but you can make them accessible to the external internet through an external IP address. So if you notice in the labs, if you've done the labs and if you notice, not all virtual machines have this external IP address. If you've observed, only some have them, right? I'm not sure who has observed it, but not all virtual machines will have the IP address. Yeah, because you configure it in such a way that the external internet cannot access it, which is not required also. You don't need the external internet to access all the virtual machines. You only need it to access which on which your website is. So that's why you give only access to that virtual machine which has the website running, so that the external internet can access it. So that's how VPC works. So then we have a load balancer. So this is a really interesting concept. So load balancer is basically a piece of software which controls your traffic. Now this traffic concept is it becomes really important for big websites like Amazon and all. So if you observed, so I'm not sure how many know like Epic Games, which is a gaming website which sells games. They left GTA 5 for free 2 months ago, and the entire website crashed. Right? Do you guys know that? Yeah. So this can be this is mostly because of unexpected traffic, because they did not have the resources to support how much traffic was coming in. That's why it crashes. So load balancing becomes really important here, especially when you have your website serving in different areas, because now your website is running in US as well as in India, right? So you have to make sure that the requests that are coming in India go to an appropriate resource, right? That's why these zones and regions are provided in the Google Cloud, so that you make your resource where it is nearest to your customers. If you have a website, you should make it in India. You should make the zone in India, right? That takes lesser time for the data to come than from going to US and coming. So that's how it works. So load balancing, basically what it does is it controls what traffic is going where. So if a virtual machine is handling 100 requests per second, that's how it is calculated, requests per second. So if there are 100 users using a website right now in one region, and another region it is empty, nobody is using it. Now there are 200 people trying to access in one region. So load balancer sees this and realizes that this first one cannot handle so much data, so much incoming requests, and it redirects the traffic to the second machine, so that there is no machine failure and everything is balanced. That's why it's called a load balancer. It balances the incoming load. So we'll be working on this as well. So don't get confused. I hope I have been clear. All it does is it sees the incoming traffic and sends it to the appropriate location where there are more resources available. That's it. So that was all about the basics of networking, IP address, TCP, SSH. So you'll be coming across all these terms. So don't get confused or don't think that you don't know them. Try to remember what I've told you. Else you can always Google it. You'll get the best answer. Okay. Um, so that was one part of this. I will do the lab in a few more minutes. But before that, okay, I'll do a thing. I'll do the lab first. I think that would be better. So is everybody on the same page with me? Would you all like to do a hands-on lab now? Yes, Sushil, I will be doing that. I will be explaining step by step to complete one lab. Okay, cool. So open your Quick Labs account, log in, and go to this quest, perform foundational infrastructure tasks in Google, which is the second quest in the syllabus. So go to this. I will be. Wait a minute. I don't think I'm sharing my screen. Just a minute. So go to this quest, perform foundational infrastructure and tasks in Google Cloud. Please log in first and then go to this quest. And once you're there, please drop in a thumbs up once you're on the page. See only one person. No, I will tell you what to open in incognito. Open this in a regular window. Open quicklabs.com and sign in with your credentials. And then go to perform foundational tasks in Google Cloud, which is the second quest in the syllabus. If you go to this website, you'll see the program syllabus. I'm sure I've shared this website with everyone. So this is the link you should click on. So is there anyone here without credits who can't do the hands-on lab? Is there anyone? Everybody has credits. Sanjay, you should do one more lab, I believe, to get the remaining credits. But it's okay for now. You can do it later. We don't need credits for this lab actually. Okay, let me just paste this link on the Kishore. The quick labs or the program syllabus. The what I've sent is the program syllabus. So you can go to that and click on the second quest, second skill patch. Okay, cool. So I wait for someone. Please let me know I have to wait. Okay. So yeah, I'm waiting for you. Do it soon. Virtual, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Foundational, yeah, correct. Infrastructure tasks. I will briefly go through it, but it is actually more basic than this. You will be able to figure it out by yourself. Getting started with create and manage resources. I will just go through it once if you want me to, but it is fairly simpler than this. That's why I thought I'll do a bit more complicated tasks so that I can show you how it works. Varshita, I will tell you just a minute. I'm waiting for everyone to come on that page. So you can go to come down. You will see this Google Cloud Pub Sub Quick Start console. So come to this. Click on this console command line. I will be showing you command line because I think that's what most people think is difficult. You can also do this through the GUI. So I hope everybody knows that there are two ways of doing labs in Google Cloud. One is through the GUI, where you just click on things through the mouse and you do it. The second one is with command line, where you just type the command and everything is done for you. So I would highly recommend using the command line because it is very faster, much smoother. Because going to the menus and clicking it would takes time. But yeah, it's your comfort. But I'll be showing command line so that it's easier for you. Is it fine if you have completed the first? Yes, it is completely fine. I won't be doing the first task. I'm doing I think the fifth or fourth or something. Scroll down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one, which says command line. Google Cloud PubSub Quick Start command line. So Varshita, please click on that fifth lab. So is everybody on that page? On this page? Google Cloud PubSub command line. Okay, cool. So before you start any lab, I highly recommend reading this first. Whatever they would have given the what you'll be exactly doing in this lab and some concepts. So please go through it carefully because sometimes the steps you miss here end up like not counting at all in the lab. So you won't be able to figure out what went wrong and the time will be up. So please read it carefully, very carefully, and it will give you a lot of information about the topic also. So you can see that we are doing something called PubSub. So what exactly is PubSub? So if you read, you'll understand here it's a messaging service for exchanging event data among application services. So what does it mean? So PubSub is nothing but publications and subscriptions. So you know what subscriptions on YouTube do, right? Does everybody know what subscriptions on YouTube do? What does it have? What happens when you subscribe to a channel? Yeah. Exactly. So you get notifications when you subscribe to someone, right? So that is exactly what this concept is also. So if you want something on your Google Cloud to listen to some changes in the database or something, you use this PubSub. So anytime that event is completed, this will notify that other event that it has to take place now. So it publishes messages, and whichever event is subscribing to those messages, they will get it. Okay. So please go through this before you lab, once, and you will solve it soon. Learn the basics of PubSub, create, delete, and list PubSub topics, and list subscriptions, publish a message topic. So it also shows what you have to do, prerequisites. So it says here this assumes little or no prior experience with PubSub. So to do this lab, you do not have to actually know what PubSub is. So that's what you have to understand. I will teach you the basics of getting set up with Google Cloud Service. So before you click the start button, I hope everybody have read this. So this instruction remains the same for every lab. It just tells you how you should attend the lab, which I'll be showing right now. You can see all of this information here. So what I would recommend is you can skip till here once you get to know the process from the next lab. So come here. So once you're here, you have to start the lab, right? If you want to read through first, definitely read through now. Definitely read through when you're doing the lab. But else you can start the lab and then read as you do the lab. So I'll start the lab. Everyone do it with me. Okay. 3, 2, 1, start. So click on it only once. It sometimes takes a few seconds. And then you'll see this. So this is a free lab actually, so it doesn't take any credits. That's why it opens up. Else you'll get used with 1 credit. Now, once you're here and you see your timer going off, hover on this open with Google Console, don't click on it, right click and click on open link in incognito window. Am I clear? Should I repeat it? If I'm clear, please drop in a thumbs up. Once you clicked on start lab, verified the captcha that you're not a robot. If it costs a credit, it will show the credits it costs. If not, it will start the timer. So once the timer is started, don't click on this. Rather, right click and click in open link in incognito window. So that time you'll be prompted with this new account. So you can see how Quick Labs works is it creates temporary accounts for you to log into Google Cloud so that you can use everything and it won't cost anything. Right? That's how it works. If you're using your own account, then you might have to give your credit card information and it will cost. If you don't use something properly, it will cost you. That's why Quick Labs gives an easy way to create a temporary account and practice without using your credit card. So copy this, paste, next, password, paste, next. So every time you log into this, you'll get a terms of service, all of that, accept it. After that, you'll get this menu, protect your account. You do not need to do anything, just press confirm. And right after this, you will get another terms and conditions soon after this. So you'll always get this for every tab you do. So click on I agree and then agree and continue. So since this lab requires the command line, I will activate Cloud Shell here. So this is the icon, the first icon on the top right. It says activate Cloud Shell. So click on that and you'll get this Cloud Shell. Click on continue. So it takes a few seconds to provision your Cloud Shell machine. And then you're into the Cloud Shell. So is everybody on this page with me? Please type yes or a thumbs up if you're able to do everything I did. Start the lab, copy the credentials, open an incognito window, log into the account, click on all the accept all the terms and conditions. Okay, Tanzila, I'm waiting. So click on all the terms and conditions, then click on activate Cloud Shell. Then you will get access to the command line. So whatever is here, all of this instruction, setup and requirements is everything that I did just now. So if you know this process, you don't have to read through this. So it's exactly what is written here that I did just now. So it says activate Cloud Shell, and then you can get your account details by typing these commands. Now here is where the actual lab starts from here, the pub sub basics. Okay. So is everyone on the same page? Amrita, I'm sorry, it's a free lab. Why is it showing it should be paid? Are you sure you're on the right lab? Please check it. It should be Google Cloud pub/sub. Okay, Vedavati, I'm waiting for you. Tanzila, after logging in, just click on activate Cloud Shell. After you accepted all the terms and conditions. Amrita, do you have the 600 credits? All the 9 credits? Then why is it? Try to enroll in this quest. Like just click on enroll, join to enroll in this quest. You should be signed in. So after signing in, click on join to enroll. Okay, this is really peculiar. Tanzila, after logging in, click on confirm. Just click on confirm, agree to every condition, just accept all the terms and conditions, that's it. And then click on activate Cloud Shell. Amrita, I'm not sure what exactly issue you are facing. Where are you stuck, Vedavati? Amrita, can you please send it in the Telegram group? Send a screenshot or a message in the Telegram group. I'll see what error you're facing. Whatever screen you're in where it says you have to pay, send that message. And Vedavati, where are you? I'm stuck in BW. What does BW mean? In between what? Stuck in between. Can you tell me the exact step? What have you done till now? Amrita, I think this is a. Don't worry about this. This is mostly because just make sure you're logged in to a proper account. As it's okay, since this lab is free, you can always do it again. I don't think that should affect much. Just try to activate Cloud Shell. It shouldn't actually affect the lab. Manudeva, what is that? What pop-up? I am not on that page yet, if that is what you're referring to. Oh, I think so. So you guys might be logging in from your personal email. Do not do that. Log in from your the credentials given here. That is what I was meant. That was what I was showing. Soumya, don't go there. Don't go to tax status and all. Don't use your own email and ID. I'm very clear. Use the username given here. Copy it, paste it. Use the password here. Copy it and paste it. Do not use your own credentials. If you use your own credentials, please cancel, like close the incognito window, open it again. Who is this? Kritika, after this, we are running out of time. Please. So Kritika, just click on Start Lab, open console in incognito window, and type in those credentials. Log into the Google account, not yours, but the one given in that page. Varshita, why are you not able to open it in incognito? I'm not sure. Right click and open in incognito. So it's what? Which browser are you using, Varshita? The command will be for everything. If it is a virtual machine, it will be gcloud. I think we have VM or VM instances. VM instances create. If it is delete, it will be delete. Okay, so that's how usually all these commands will be. So once you start, if you do 1 or 2 labs, you'll get the idea of how the commands are structured. It's actually very easy. So you don't have to worry too much about the commands. So create and a topic, which is called my topic in this case. If you see, you can see if I type that, it will ask me to authorize. So authorize this. And within a few seconds, it should be done. So it says create a topic. If you're not able to see my screen, let me just zoom in. So I hope everybody's able to see now. Right? Was everybody able to do the first command? Please drop in a thumbs up if you were able to execute that first command. Gcloud pubsub topic create topics. Topics create my topic. So obviously you can, there is a copy option for every command line lab. There's a copy option which you can directly copy here and paste it. Everybody with me? Vedavati, you're 2 behind. Please ask one of your friends. I have to move forward. Yes, Manudeva, authorize. Okay, so looks like everybody was able to accept it. So this is called one task. So in these labs, you'll have several tasks usually. So after every task, you'll have this check my progress. So this will usually tell you what mistake you're doing. So if it shows that you didn't do it, you can click on this and click on check my progress. It will show. If it is incorrect, it will show that you didn't do it correctly. So once you do this, you'll get this point. So each lab has like around 100 points, I believe, which has credits. So you have to get all those points to get the lab corrected. So then let's go and execute our second command. Gcloud pubsub topics create test one. With that, I'm creating another topic called test one. Same command, just the name is different. Another one, test two. I'll tell here why we are creating so much topics. So you can copy this Gcloud pubsub topics list, and you can see all the topics that you just created. Right? You can see here that name, projects, your project ID, topics, test one, test two, test one, and my topic. So these were the three topics which you have created. So was everybody able to execute these three commands? And did you understand? Please let me know if I have to repeat something. Yes, exactly, Kalyan. So whoever is subscribed to this topic now will receive the messages that is pushed to that topic. Just like whoever is subscribed to our channel will receive the videos. Very similar analogy. Okay, so I'll be moving forward. So as you can see, the output they're given here. Do not, and one more thing, do not copy this output. Sometimes you will make a mistake of copying and pasting this. So make sure you're not copying the output, but only copying the command. And they would also mentioned here they do not copy. So let's see how to delete these now. So you can see Gcloud pubsub topics delete. So first we use create to create them, and it's just one difference to delete them. So you can see the command Gcloud pubsub topics delete test one. So I'll be deleting test one. Okay, and then delete test two. And your list. So as you can see, your output matches the one. My topic is remaining because we deleted those two topics. Let's talk about subscriptions now. So you know what topic does? It is where one message is published. And they're telling you what subscription is. So this is how you create a subscription. So subscription cannot exist without a topic, right? So you cannot subscribe to something without a channel in YouTube, right? That's exactly the same way. So you have to mention to which topic you're subscribing. So this is the command for that. Gcloud pubsub subscriptions create flag. This is called a flag. If you're beginning to command line tools, you would have used this probably. So there'll be many flags in a command usually associated. So Gcloud also has many flags in each command to specify specify extra parameters. So again, Gcloud pubsub subscriptions create topic, my subscription. This is the subscription I'm creating, and I'm subscribing to the topic, my topic. Yeah. Is that clear, or is anybody didn't understand? Please let me know in the chat. If you're clear, leave a thumbs up. I'll ask your question. Okay. Allianz says, is that code to tell that my topic is open for subscription, or it is to get subscribed to the topic, not to tell it? It is just like clicking the subscribe button on a channel. So it is to get subscribed to the topic. Okay. So now again, you can check your progress. It should say complete, right? So you can create more topics here. Just like you created more subscriptions, sorry. Just like you created different topics, you can create more subscriptions. So there can be multiple subscriptions to the same topic. That is what you're trying to demonstrate here. Right? So you can see test one, test two, and my subscription all are subscribed to the same topic. And if you list them, you will see all of them. just clear it. So after that, you have this quiz. So keep in mind that this quiz actually doesn't bring you any points. It is just to test your understanding. So to receive messages published in a topic, you must create a subscription to the topic. So what would you guys say? Is it true or false? What is the answer? True or false? See two trues. Anybody saying false? Correct. The answer is true. You have to be subscribed to receive updates. Now we can delete them the same way we created them. Same command, gfloat pubsub subscriptions delete test one. And also delete test two. Then we will list. I got it. So you can see there is only my subscription remaining. That is how it is. Now let's. So I hope everybody is on this page, have completed till here, deleting the subscription, because we'll be moving to pushing the messages actually and seeing the subscriptions. I move forward. Just click on the Cloud Shell again, activate Cloud Shell button. The terminal should open back up. Or if you just minimized it, then you will have to you'll see at the bottom, let me just show it. So one thing you would have done is this would have happened. So you'll see this button, this thing in the bottom. This has happened, you can just pull it up and pull it down. But in case if you close it by mistake, you can always click on this again and it'll open up within a few seconds. And your session won't be lost, don't worry. It will be in the same state you left it. Got it, Amita? Cool. Moving forward now. Let's see how we can publish messages to this topic. So you can see there's already one publish. Gcloud PubSub topics published my topic. So remember that you have to specify the topic to which you have to publish and then provide this message flag. Publishing it. So it says message ID. So each publishing has an ID associated with it. So it returns that ID. So you can see that I'll be publishing a few more messages here. So I'll get an ID. You can actually replace this your name, your food with whatever you like. So we have published 4 messages now. Now we'll pull them and see through our subscription. Okay. So before that, has everybody published 4 messages? Sure, Sushil. Okay, Manadava, but please make it quick. We still have a lot to cover. Give you 1 minute. So has everybody else done publishing 4 topics? Please reply yes or a thumbs up. I see only 2. I would expect more people to do it. We have 50 here, almost 50, more than 50. Cool, Manu. Okay. So let's move forward then. So once you're published, the next thing is to pull it, right? So you can see, you can read here, pull command get message of your topic. The pull command is subscription based, meaning it should work because earlier you set up a subscription. Use the following command. So let's use this command and see what happens. Is 0 items. Why? Did I give too much break? Is that one? Let's try that. Okay, I got it. Yeah, so you can see that the third command came out, only one, especially. Right? We published 4, but there's only one. And you can see what's going on here. You published 4 messages, but there was only one. It is important to note a couple of features of the pull command. So please read something like this that you see. Using the pull command without any flags will output only one message. Even if you're subscribed to a topic that has more held in it. So if you do not use any flags, it will only give you one message. Once an individual message has been outputted from a particular subscription based on the pull command, you cannot access that message again. So it is just like your notification, WhatsApp notification. Once you swipe it out, you can't access it right again. So that's how it is. So then they're telling, and if we run it again, you will see zero items, right? So 0. Why this command is acting weird? Showing the order. So let's just publish the second time, following the guide. Pushing 3 new messages to the topic. I got 3 IDs. You can see that when I specify the limit equals 3, I'll get all of the things are published. So without the limit, I'll only get 1 at a time. Once that is done, I cannot use it again. You guys get it? So once I've pulled a message from a topic, subscribe to it, I cannot use that message again. I can't view it. So suppose to put 3. I'm outputting only 1. Yeah, you can see that it is outputted 3. So all the 3 which we did, if you want to see the number of topics, you'll have to mention the limit flag. So that was it. This lab, we learned how to create a public topic, how to delete the topic, how to create a subscription, how to delete the subscription, and how to subscribe to a topic, and how to push messages to the topic, and how to pull the messages from that topic using the subscription. So this was fairly simple lab actually. You will see more complicated labs, and obviously due to the time constraint, I won't be going into those labs. But definitely, I'll be helping you if you get stuck anywhere. But most probably, all of the solutions should be right here. If you're getting an error, it's most probably because you missed some step. Just which one? I stopped the lab. Which one, Manadeva? Amita, that's what I'm saying. If it is showing 0 items, you didn't publish it properly either, or it's taking time to publish. So try it again. It should work. As you saw, even it showed 0 items for me too first. Aditya, yes, pulling one message at a time. If you do not show the limit flag, if you put the limit flag, then it shows all the limit. What do you want to see, Manudeva? The output. You can see we got the same output in whatever is mentioned here. This is the output I got. Okay, cool. So this was one lab. So I hope you guys understood how to do a lab, how to start a lab, how to follow the instructions. So like I said, if you get stuck in these labs, if you get an error, you're not getting points, it is most probably because you are doing something wrong. So make sure that you're following all the steps properly. Do not skip any steps. Do not like skip reading any of these. So make sure you are reading properly and make sure you're following the steps. And also most of the times the error will tell you what error you're doing, what mistake you're doing. So also make sure you check out that out. And if you still can't figure it out, then come to me. I will definitely help you in figuring out what mistake you might be doing. So if you see the quest, so a quest has many labs. As you can see, I've completed all of them. So these labs are guided completely. They will have all the answers. But the last lab in each quest is a challenge lab. Now this is a bit tricky sometimes. So unless you understood all of the above topics, you won't be able to do this. Okay, so make sure that you are understanding at least some part of it so that you can do the challenge lab. And you will get stuck. Don't worry, it's completely normal. You might not clear it in the first round, the first try. Even I did not. For like 3 challenge labs, I was not able to complete in the first try. So definitely don't worry, but make sure you're following the steps mentioned here very carefully. Okay, so that time you will definitely clear it. So all these commands will be in the previous labs. So you can either go to them and try to figure it out which command works. Else if you remember them, you can try to command or the way to do it. So then you can click on, see here it says create a PubSub topic. So like we just saw, the command was gcloud PubSub topics create and the topic name. So if you do that, you will get this task will be complete. So the first few labs are quite easy, the challenge labs, like the 1, 2, 3 or something. But so it gets a bit complicated after the 4th lab, I believe. So you will have to level up as you go on. So I think people will get stuck in this also. Yesterday also someone had got stuck in the cloud function. So please make sure you do the cloud, pay attention to the cloud function lab, because this might be a bit tricky. You might not get this task. Okay, so challenge labs are challenging. So and you won't. Sometimes you will fail them. So don't worry. You can always do them again, and there should be enough credits to like do it like once or thrice, 1 to 3 times. And if you're still not getting it, I have a hack which I do not recommend, but definitely if you're too stuck and if you're not able to do it, all you have to do is copy the name of that lab properly, then just Google it, and you'll find this. You'll find Medium articles, and also you'll find this QLog, this github.io. So this website has the solutions to the challenge labs, but again, I don't recommend it because obviously you're not learning anything if you do that. So it doesn't have complete challenges. In some cases, it does have, like he has not given the complete solution, so you still have to think a bit. So, but this definitely helps you in accomplishing the lab. So this is what I would recommend checking out if you are totally stuck and you're not able to move forward. So just Google the lab topic and you should be able to arrive at the solution. And this will help you. And he also has videos put up on YouTube, so you can check that out also. So you can do this or come to me if you're in a problem. I will help you out. So there is still a bit of things I want to cover, and we're running out of time. So I won't be doing another lab. So the only thing to remember is, like I said, these quests have different labs. And after this, in the machine learning track, if you've never done any sort of like machine learning Python, you will be a bit confused because there's something called Jupyter notebooks. And by the way, there are only 11 quests. So you can see the first quest in each of the tracks are the same, getting started with managed cloud resources. So if you go to the second one of the machine learning and we go to AI platform. So these labs walk you through the AI platform and how you can use AI machine learning stuff done already to use in your apps. So definitely read this also. It will give you the complete line. The only thing is that these labs are done in Jupyter notebooks, which executes Python code. So if you do not know about Jupyter notebooks, please go YouTube them or Google search them. It's nothing, it's just a code editor, but it executes code sequentially from one cell to another cell. Okay, I'll take up the questions just a minute. Okay, so that is one thing to keep in when doing the data science track. Make sure you, and in the Jupyter labs, there will be some there will be some variables missing, like they will give that you should put something there. So make sure, I missed it yesterday and I was not able to get the solution. I was wondering what I did wrong, but just make sure to read every cell. There will be something to input there. So if you put that, it will work. So make sure you read carefully. You have to be aware here. Can't blindly do it. You can't achieve this blindly. So definitely you'll have to read a bit. So be patient and it will definitely work in the end. That's the thing. So let me take up the questions quickly. Yeah, so Tanzila, the confirmation that you finish the lab is when you get full points. On the right side, you will see the 10 on 10 or 100 on 100. So it is when it is confirmed that you have completed successfully, and then you can end the lab. You don't have to wait till the lab ends. So once you got 100 out of 100, you can end the lab. Amita, yes, you can do this lab again. Since it is free, actually you can do any lab again, just that it will cost you credits. So make sure you're using your credits wisely. Don't use the same lab. If you successfully completed a lab, don't use it on the same lab, at least until you complete the track. So if you want to do it later, you can do it, but use it wisely now. So yes, again, you will get to know, like I said, when you get 100 on 100 points. So that is when you know that you have completed successfully. Yes, not after getting the last output. Yeah, you can end the lab after if you got the correct output, Rajwal. Manudeva, you will never use your own email ID. Only to log into Quick Labs, you'll use your own email ID, but never into Google Cloud. Okay. So every time you start a lab, it will generate a temporary Google account for you, and only through that you have to log in. If not, it won't work. I hope I'm clear. So that's why I always open it in incognito, so that there is no saved information coming up. Else it will ask you to log into your account. So always open it in incognito mode, so that you can directly log into a different account. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to cover because it's a completely new thing and most people might get confused. So if you go to, so in this first track, if you will come across this lab called Kubernetes. So this is a bit of something you might have not heard of, but it is very popular nowadays and almost all companies use it. So these labs, and also one thing I would like to say is, like, some of the labs are repeated in these tracks. So you won't have to do them all of them in every quest. If you go through the quest, you'll see that some of the labs are repeated in each quest. So once you've done that lab, it will be counted for the next quest as well. So this Kubernetes lab, let me just sign in. So this Kubernetes lab is its own topic. So these labs do come in some previous quests, and if you're finishing them, finishing those labs, you don't have to do it in this. So yeah, so let me just tell you what this Kubernetes is and what is this containerization, so that when you come to this lab, you'll have an idea of what it might be. Okay. See, attendance is decreasing. I request you all to please stay with me so that the labs will be smoother. Just for a few more minutes, maybe 15-20 minutes, and we will be done with this. So after you completed your lab, you can just try to close the Google Cloud. Don't leave it open. Just close it anyway, because your project will be deleted from the backend. Progress where exactly, Sushil? Which progress? Okay, well, we'll do a thing from now on. Oh, we do have Q&A. So let's do a thing. If you have long questions or something like that, do drop them in the Q&A section and I will take it in the last 5 minutes. Okay, I'll take all of the questions at once. So right now I won't answer any questions. I'll just go ahead. So if you have any questions, do drop it there about anything in general or Google Cloud or program or anything. So just drop it there and I will take it up in the last 5 minutes. So let me quickly go through the topics which I want to cover. So if you've done the first lab, you'll realize that you have to create a virtual machine and all of that. So this is what IaaS, the one I said before, infrastructure as a service, allows you to do. So virtualization is a big concept in computer science. What it basically does is it mimics, it fakes. Basically, your computer is faking your operating system and it is making it believe that it has something which it doesn't. So the main technology behind this is called a hypervisor. So using a hypervisor, you can spin up many virtual operating systems on a single machine. So that's what is mostly this hypervisor is a main concept behind cloud technology, where you can spin up different operating systems. Now, these operating systems are the exact same operating systems which you use in newer laptops. It might be Windows. There will be a server version of it, like Windows Server, but most of the times, like Linux and all, they're usually the same which you use on the laptop. It will be the same version of it on the cloud as well. It will have the same commands, it will have the same apps, everything will be same. Now the problem is, you know how much time an operating system takes to boot, right? You know, when you turn on your computer, it at least takes 10 seconds, right? Now this 10 seconds is very valuable time. You cannot lose 10 seconds. Big companies like Facebook and all, they can't let their website be down by 10 seconds also. They lose thousands of dollars. So this is the huge disadvantage of this VM virtual machines. Even though they can run an entire operating system virtually, they take up time and resources, right? You need a lot of resource to run an operating system, right? You know how much resource you need. When you turn on Windows, it will take 2 to 3 GB of your RAM, right? If you see usable RAM, it will be like, if you have a 8 GB RAM, your usable RAM will be like 5 to 6 GB only, because the rest is taken by the operating system. So it takes a lot of resources. So, but whatever you're running inside the operating system might not need so much resources. So it's wasting the RAM which is given to it by not utilizing it completely. So that is the biggest problem with VMs. VMs were popular, like they have been popular for quite a while now since cloud computing started. But now there is a new technology that is taking over. It has already taken over, I would say. So you can see here that flexibility has cost in boot time, like I said, and resources. So it takes up time to turn on an operating system, and also it takes up RAM. So App Engine provides programming services, and then we have something called containers. Now, this container is, think of it as a room, maybe a room in your house. Okay, that might be a bad example, but think of it as an isolated space. It is just like a virtual operating system, but it is just one piece of execution. So there's only one application running. Suppose you are running a web server. There's only one web server running in that container, and nothing can access it from outside. So it is completely isolated, and it has its own dependencies. So it doesn't conflict with anything. And containers take up only one execution thread, right? Like they do not take up the entire RAM like the operating systems did. So containers can be deployed independently. They do not need an operating system to run, but they take up less resources. That's why containers are very popular. And a container is basically like I would say, a room where it is isolated. Suppose you have a room which is not connected with a rest of your house, something like that you can imagine. So it just works on its own. It does not need something else to work. So that's why now uh, all the companies, whatever they want to deploy, instead of using virtual machines, if you go through the first few labs, you'll be creating virtual machines. But if towards the end of the labs, you'll be creating Docker containers and deploying them. Okay. So like you can see here, containers offer IaaS flexibility and PaaS scalability. So they offer flexibility as well as scalability. They can scale according to the needs, and they can scale up or scale down. and they start up within a few seconds. They do not need 10 seconds to start up like an operating system. They can start up in 1 second. And they're configurable, self-contained, and portable, ultra portable. They are just a few MB, like they're usually below 1 GB, 500 MB or something like that. But operating systems, they are like, you can see your C drive, right? It keeps filling. So you can deploy containers of on a group of servers called a cluster. So suppose there are 100 people using your website, then you might have 3 containers might be enough. But what if that 100 suddenly goes to 1,000? That time these containers will die, like they will crash. They won't be able to handle the execution. So that's when this cluster comes into picture and this Kubernetes comes into picture. So Kubernetes is an open source tool to manage containers. So this where this containers comes, the term comes from is, if you have seen uh, the ship docks, where have you seen the industrial shipping where they ship large container of boxes, right? Have you guys seen it? So they usually during the industrial shipment, you'll see that a large number of shipments are being docked, right? That's where Docker comes in. Docker is a company which has it is the most popular containerization technology. So Docker is a company. So that's where it comes from, docking of containers. So each of these containers has its own environment and own execution, and it can be managed. So if Docker is this containers, then the ship that these containers are packed on is Kubernetes. You can see that it has a steering wheel symbol. So Kubernetes allows these containers to, it automatically manages them. Like I said, if your traffic on your website increases suddenly, Kubernetes knows how to manage them, how to send the appropriate traffic, how to load balance the traffic. It does all of this. And Kubernetes is one of the most hottest topics right now, to be honest. Even I'm delving it into in quite depth. It's really amazing. It really gives you perspective of how companies like Instagram and all these big companies, they when there are where there are thousands of not thousands, I would say millions of users every day, right? Every second somebody is using Instagram. 100 million people are using Instagram, right? So this is how they handle them. So such huge traffic they need to properly manage as their app will crash. So Kubernetes has something called a master node, and then it has nodes. So this master is what does the steering. So it controls where how containers work, how they should scale and everything. Okay. So then we have nodes. So each node has pods and each pod has containers. So don't worry too much about this. I know I might be going a bit fast, but just know that containers are self-execution. They start up easily, they're isolated, and they can scale, and they're better over virtual machines. That is all you need to know. And the labs will guide you through how to deploy them. And Kubernetes is a tool to manage containers. That's it. And we'll just have uh, more in-depth concepts about how these Kubernetes exactly work. So you can see here, whatever the concepts you apply there, the load balancer and everything, same concepts apply here. Even Kubernetes has its own internal network. It provides IP address to every pod and every node. So you're only using that node that each of these pods can communicate with each other. And you can see here public IP is coming in. This is the public which is facing the internet, but inside they have their own IP addresses. And this replicas is like it replicates the service, the execution, so that it can handle many incoming requests. So this is about Kubernetes. Like I just wanted to give you an idea so that you're not completely confused when you see it in the labs. So definitely you can Google search it, and there are a ton of videos on YouTube on it. So do try to get into it. It's really amazing. And now when you attend this lab, just know if you read it properly, I think you will be able to understand what Kubernetes does and what containers does. Just wanted to make it familiar. So we are running out of time. Let me quickly go through the machine learning lab, and then we can take up some Q&A. Okay. I won't be doing the machine learning lab, but just like I said, you guys all know why machine learning is so important right now, right? So it is really incredible how machines are able to identify and classify all these different stuff we are seeing. And you'll also be learning machine learning in your 7th sem for third and fifth sem people. So you can see machine learning runs from rules plus experience. So what Google has done here is it already has machine learning trained models. It has already done it for you. You don't have to train anything. All you have to do is you use it like in your app. Suppose you might need facial recognition, or you for the Snapchat filters, it uses machine learning to draw your face, right? And it draws filters on you, Snapchat and Instagram. So all of this requires machine learning. So Google has this ready-made APIs which you can use in your own projects, and you can easily get either for photo effects or whatever machine learning you want to use it for. That's what you'll be learning in these labs. You'll be learning how to use those APIs, where you can use them, and all of that. See, it also says you require prior knowledge of ML. So, like I said, you do not need to know machine learning about for this because you won't be doing machine learning, but you'll be using them. So you don't need to know anything about machine learning or how it is done. You just need to know how to use them. So that will be taught in the labs. So Google has different services. So vision is something for object detection. You might know Tesla cars, which are completely self-driving nowadays. And then we have video intelligence. So sites like YouTube monitor all these videos. They use their own platform tools like this video intelligence to detect if some videos are appropriate or not. Then we have speech to text, which you might have seen already. Google Assistant, not Google Assistant, like uh, natural language is also one of the most popular. It is able to detect natural language. This is Google Assistant. Like whatever you speak, Google Assistant is able to understand, right? And then Google Translate, everybody has used it, I'm sure. So this is the one of the labs, Google Speech to Text API. So this is a very simple lab. It will just show you how to get get a text a response recognizing speech. So it will recognize your voice and then tell you the response. Yeah. So I'm sorry I won't be able to show you this lab, but I'm sure you will be able to figure it out by yourself. Else you can always post it in the Telegram group and we'll be answering it. So if you're stuck with respect to quick labs, you're getting some quota exceeded, you're not able to session timed out or whatever it is, or you haven't got your credits yet, please reach out to this email, DSC support at quicklabs.com, and you should get it. Okay. Please reach out to this email. Note it down, DSC support at quicklabs.com. And they will reply as soon as possible. I think many people got their issues resolved yesterday through this. And don't forget to share your achievements on LinkedIn and Twitter. Also on Instagram if you want. Every time you get a badge, do tag with this hashtag and then tag Google Cloud India and Google Devs India. And they will definitely retweet or share your pictures. You'll get more audience. That's it. If you have any doubts, feel free to post them in Q&A. Let's wrap it up with that. So anything that I told it till now, if you're stuck somewhere or didn't understand any point, please quickly put it in Q&A. Which one, Manu? Which slide exactly? Can you please tell me? Uh, Amita, you will be able to see it on the right top corner. You'll be seeing a yellow color flyer. If you click on that, you can see the points for each task. Mahesh Raju, no, these points are nothing. They're not related to credits. The points are prove that you have done the lab. You will be using credits to do the labs, and every time you get full points, it will be considered as done lab. The lab is done. Twitter and LinkedIn, okay. you see? So it's on Twitter, it's Google Cloud India and Google Developers India. So these are the two accounts. I think the same accounts are also on LinkedIn. You can tag them. And put this hashtag of 30 days of Google Cloud. Once you complete a quest, or if you complete more quests, and you can always share your quests on LinkedIn, it will give you an option. Okay, any more questions? Any questions, guys? Please let me know. So was it completely clear how to do the labs and what this program is about? Did you guys understand? Oh yeah, and let's go over the prizes. For those of you who do not know, who have missed that day. So this program is very special, like I told. You will be getting some prizes. And these are really cool stuff actually. Trust me, you'll be very excited when you get them. So like I said, if you complete one of these tracks, one track, you'll be getting one t-shirt, sticker pack, and a certificate. And if you complete the machine learning track only, then you'll be getting this t-shirt and a sticker pack and certificate. But if you complete both, you'll be getting all of these. So this is really, really cool stuff. I am aiming for both of them. And if you are ambitious enough, do that, do same, I would say. So all of us can like show off our swags. So at least try to complete one if not possible. So that would really help give you some confidence, and also it will, these prizes really do help boost your confidence and feel valued. So you can see all of this information on this website which I've shared. All the information about the program is there, and and know that this is only for 275 colleges in India, so not everybody is getting this opportunity. So please make use of it. Highly request you, highly recommend, do not miss this opportunity. Let me see the Q&A. So there are no questions. Can I assume that everything was clear? Yes, Saurabh, Surabhi, it will be on YouTube. I'll send the link in the Telegram group. Today's session will be on the group. Sorry, yeah, on YouTube. I'll send the group. So you can always revisit whatever you missed. It was recorded. So do we end the session? Do you guys have something to say? If you have anything to say, do put it in the chat box. Any questions? Quickly, we will end in another 2 minutes. Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Tanzila. Thank you for participating. Obviously, it wouldn't be a success without you guys. And I hope all of you do get those prizes and accomplish it. Wish you all the best. And I'm always here to help throughout the next 25 days. You can always text on the Telegram group and I will reply soon. Thank you, Kalyan, Riya, Manisha. So yeah, make best use of this opportunity. Cloud technology is definitely very relevant in nowadays. So if you are like not too much of a fan of like programming in general, this might help. This might be a slight deviation. You won't have to program too much. A cloud engineer will just have to manage resources and see everything is in place. He won't have to code much. So if you're not a fan of programming, it's a really good option within computer science. Obviously you will be required to code a bit, but yeah, definitely not as much as a software developer. I know some people hate programming or something like that. So yeah, this is a really good option. So there are professional certificates. So yeah, one more thing is if you complete both the tracks, there is something called Cloud Readiness Program, which you can Google about. Sorry, Career Readiness Program. So this Career Readiness Program is for, I think, for everyone who completed both the tracks. So this directly gives you access to Google Cloud Career Readiness, which is professional certificate from Google. So if you those certificates actually cost usually around 10,000 or something like that, and they're valid for 2 years or something. So you get access to those programs because you cleared this program. So yeah, that would be really a boost up again. And those certificates are really valid and valuable because they are very professional certificates. That's why they cost a lot also. So these again give you employment opportunities. So I think that is one more thing that you get if you complete both the tracks. I'm not sure, they haven't told it yet, but there was a mention of it. You can also Google Career Readiness Program to learn more about it. Okay, then I think I'll be ending it. So definitely post your further questions on Telegram group. And this session will be available. I will be sending it on the Telegram group. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope you had fun and learned a lot. Thank you for making this a good session. See you.